Okay, so this is the November's 2024 planetary lineup. Um, you can take a screenshot here, stop the video and take a screenshot. So this is the 1st through the 9th, and the 9th through the 19th, and the 19th to the 27th. So these are the main um, shifts that are happening, and you can follow with me. Okay, so we're gonna start my video editor. Well, one, I have a cold. I'm sorry for my raspy voice, and my video editor is like really slow. So it's not, well, it's the best one I can get for free because I'm just starting out. So I'm going to only be doing probably two signs the most for each video. So I'll have a pinned comment with the links to the other videos and any other pertinent information that you may need or I mention in the video. So look for the pinned comment, okay? Hi, Sagittarius. Okay, hope you're all doing well. So in this video, well, before I say that, there's a planetary alignment in the beginning of the video with the degrees. So if you want to take a screenshot of that and compare it to your natal chart, and if you don't have a natal chart, you can go Google free birth charts and use one of the websites, and you'll have it in an instant. And also, I apologize, I have a little cold, and I've been going crazy with this video editor thing. I've gone through three of them so far, and I don't know what I ended up with, but I've had to like condense these videos. So I've sped up the audio. So if it's way too fast for you, just when you're watching the video, there's an icon, a settings icon on the video itself. You just click on it and you go to speed, and you can slow it down if you'd like. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so in this video, I'll first discuss two aspects this month that happens yearly and is the object of your attention, and the sun and Mercury are all doing their thing here. So the first one is Scorpio. It is your 12th house of secrets, behind the scenes, your psyche, um, faith, religion, any confining spaces. Um, and you are quite busy uh, doing something behind the scenes. You're liking your alone time, very much so, but you are working on something diligently. So we'll also discuss Mars being in Cancer, which is your eighth house of joint finances, and how Mars will move to Leo, which is your ninth house. And then, of course, there's Mercury in Sagittarius, so you're going to have the gift of gab. But Mercury will go retrograde. Anyway, I'll explain that a little bit later. Then I'll discuss Pluto's departure from Capricorn, which is your second house of job and income, and how Pluto will end up in the sign of Aquarius, which is your third house of communication. And finally, I will mention a couple of significant planets making some moves this month, and that will end the synopsis of November for you. And so, right after that, I will go over the November monthly lineup regarding the big hard hitting aspects. I'm not going to really discuss the trines and the sextiles because they are soft aspects. Not everybody feels them, but you have the planetary chart, and you can check those degrees against your natal chart and where those planets are there. Okay, so the first part of this month has you focusing on something, like I said, behind the scenes. You're working really hard behind the scenes. It is the sun's yearly checkup on how you appear to others in this house. Well, you disappear. So, um, and to see if you're on the right track. So the sun will be shining a spotlight here, and it is Scorpio. But this time around, like I said, you're either studying something really diligently or working on something, And looking at your chart, it looks almost similar to Scorpio's, but let's keep looking. So you had a new moon in your 12th house on the 1st, and naturally the moon is ruled by Cancer. Rather, the moon rules Cancer, but it's in its fall in Scorpio. So it's a little far away from Cancer, so it's in its fall. So this suggests like a winter hibernation and working on perfecting this project behind the scenes that will hibernate through the winter, and it will you will be you will have benefits of it by springtime. Okay, so while you are squirreled away and enjoying your time alone, like I said, you certainly have the gift of gab. Your words are almost like honey, whether spoken or written. Um, anyway, so first, Mercury, the trickster planet and the messenger of the gods, does go retrograde 3 times a year, and he has chosen to retrograde in your sign for the third time this year and last time. So Mercury will enter Sagittarius early in the month. I think it's around the 3rd, but will be in shadow retrograde already by the 7th. Okay. So if you have not secured any agreements or talks or discussions before the 7th, expect delays, reversals, cancellations, um, or changes, and maybe even new factors coming into play. Mercury will go retrograde on the 25th and will not clear its retrograde shadow until after New Year's Day, the 2nd. And that is when you will have all the facts to make an informed decision. So just think of it right now with your text and emails and all that. Just think of it as like dress rehearsal, only because you don't have all the facts. Because Mercury will go and fetch these things for you on the second round, and then on the final round, you will have all these facts. Um, and always with Mercury retrogrades, have plan A, B, C, and D. Um, because, like I said, they might reverse or change or get canceled. Now, you have had powerful Pluto in your second house of job, income, and your value system. And it's been a really, really rough 15, 18 years here where Pluto took you down to the depths of the underworld, of your underworld, and turned you inside out, only because it wanted to force a change of how you value money, how you value yourself. Excuse me. Because Sagittarians really don't, most Sagittarians don't care about money. Why? Because they're hopeful. They always think that money will come in. And I went into at length with detail about this in your October horoscope video. So if you want to listen to that as well, but um, suffice it to say, you have gone through a lot with the second house of money. You've done everything. You've worked 2, 3 jobs. You work jobs you would have never worked, um, and just the saying, lied, cheated, and stolen. But it's a saying. You've done everything. But you can see that right now you are a powerhouse with money. Okay, a lot of you will make really sound decisions with money, and you won't be worried about money as much because you know how to rein it in. And many of you will be investors too. You'll do the stock market, but be careful with that. Okay, be super informed before you do anything like that. But like I said, and your value system. Now you know who you will and will not sell out for. Okay. And once Pluto leaves Capricorn in your second house, you'll see that the big guys are going to shrink. They're going to be demoted, opening up all kinds of possibilities for everyone. And with you, in regards to money, it's going to open up a lot of avenues for you. Um, and we felt this thunderous shift back between Christmas 2022 and February 2023. But more recently, this year, January to May, when Pluto did enter Aquarius, and you got so there were demotions, lateral moves, where it opened up some possibilities for you, and you did start on something unique and individual and enlightening regarding jobs and income. But Pluto retrograded all the way back into Capricorn for this unfinished business. So whatever you started with Pluto and Capricorn, it went to the back burner, and it's going to when Pluto leaves Capricorn on the 19th and enter Aquarius, it's going to be a huge shift, and you're going to pick up what you started in the beginning of this year. Um, and this shift is really nice. It's really uplifting. So Aquarius is a unique air sign, and it goes well with fire. I mean, it can whip up your fire like really, really high. But check your natal chart to see where Aquarius is in your chart, where Uranus is in your chart. And the other thing, well, I'll discuss regarding what you want to do and what you'd like to do later, um, during the end of the synopsis or the scope. So you have big dreams, and you may have thought that they were unreachable regarding now your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, cousins, your neighborhood, and social media is highlighted in the third house. So, what I'm trying to explain is the energy that's going to come. Whatever you thought that was unreachable in your third house, Aquarius is going to bring it to you on a silver platter, but it'll bring it to you fast. So the theme is be careful of what you wish for. Here is what it's going to be, and I'm always reminded of the shift with Aquarius because it is so fast and electrifying. It's ruled by Uranus, the planet of shock, surprise, electricity, and lightning. So I'm always reminded of Betty Davis in that movie where she said, "Put on your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride." Um, and boy, will it be bumpy, but it'll be a dizzying, fast, bumpy ride, and very, very uplifting. So I don't want to scare anyone, but you're a Sagittarius, you love adventures. It'll be very uplifting and freeing, much more freeing. Capricorn was traditional and very cautious. Um, and very, yeah, so it's a like a deeper, darker maybe energy with Capricorn, whereas Aquarius it'll be very light and very, very fast. I can't stress that enough. um, but it still is Pluto, so excuse me, the it'll be like a roller coaster. The highs will be as high as Aquarius is an air sign up in the sky, um, but the lows will be as low as Pluto will take us back into the deep depths for a transformation. Um, both Pluto and Aquarius are here to empower you, though, through powerful Aquarian people. And the theme is technology. So again, you're just like Scorpio, something with the media, social media, um, the need to be heard, because it's your third house, the spoken word, the written word. Um, so you may turn to, or an Aquarian may help you with AI, and having like a virtual assistant of some kinds. That's just an example. Excuse me. So I did mention that the dates to think back in earlier this year. So you'll pick up that project again, or it'll come to you fast and like a better project. But again, it'll be fast. The only thing here that I'm going to stress is yes, true. Aquarius is about the collective, about the group, about humanity. But Aquarius also went through a deep transformation with Pluto in their 12th house of hidden psyche, of their their mind, how it's wired. And what they've been taught is that instead of always sacrificing for the collective, yeah, because Aquarians sometimes will even sacrifice their like a job, just so the group will benefit. Sometimes they'll even let family go by the wayside because of the group. They're just wired that way, and most Aquarians are raised by friends. So Pluto has transform that thinking for them, saying that, Aquarius, you are no good for the collective if you cannot take care of yourself first. So just as a warning, the only things that you need to be aware of is that try not to get stuck in a hive mind, um, and and sacrificing anything regarding your third house for the collective. First, take care of you first, and then, you know, do whatever you need to do to transform and be empowered. But you will not have that power to be empowered if you don't take care of yourself first. So that's the only thing with Aquarius is, um, you got to be careful of the hive mind. In any case, it is a long transit and there are a lot more details involved, but that is not within the scope of this video. And I will be uploading a dedicated video for each sign regarding Pluto and Aquarius because it's a 20-year transit. And please, nobody freak out because my friends were like, 20 years? Are you crazy? And I had to remind them, I didn't even realize, it's not every day you're going to be dealing with Pluto and Aquarius. You'll have a normal life. Other planets are going to be doing things, but Pluto's an outer planet, so effects change very slowly. So it'll be in the background. And yes, some degrees that'll hit your natal chart, you will feel it, but it's not an everyday thing. And again, I can't stress enough, this is a really different energy. It's a fast energy, it's an uplifting energy. And you like that. It's not like Capricorn. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was Mars has been in Cancer, and that is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, taxes, credits, loans, inheritance. This also falls in here, and government benefits. So um, Mars has been empowering you to move um, and get things done here. Or you might have gotten some angry people, maybe your partner that you have joint finances with, or even share a car with, or maybe your brother that you share a car with, or your son, or it can be maybe government benefits. Maybe you've had some angry government people talking to you. So it's Mars. Mars is the god of war, and it brings the heat and action. It speeds things up so you can get things done. But with Mars, you have to remember not to rise to the fight, not to trip any, not to take any baits, and 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 return the heat, because Mars will be retrograding. It'll go back in Cancer, and there's information that you don't know of yet that you will be getting. Works like Mercury retrograde. Um, and besides that, when Mars retrogrades, the decisions or the conversation or the agreement has a chance of being reneged, canceled, changed, swapped, or of some kind. So uh, again, if the heat is coming at you, do not reciprocate with Mars. Okay, then Mars will move into Leo, and that will be your, where am I? Oh yeah, no, uh, that is that is your ninth house. Okay, that is your ninth house of higher education, philosophy, um, travel, long distance travel, foreign people, foreign places, the World Wide Web, and publishing. So you'll have extra energy to tackle these things, or the energy will come at you from foreigners, or regarding school, higher education, or publishers. Again, the same warning goes out. And this time, Mars is not in Cancer. It's not as muted. It is in Leo, a fire sign. And Leo is ruled by the sun. There's nothing more powerful than the sun. As powerful as Mars is in Aries, its home sign, it's even more powerful in Leo. So you may have, and it's Leo, so it's egocentric, but yet very magnanimous. So you might have Leo types of people in your ninth house that will seem angrier than usual, or or uh, that seem like they're hurried or in a hurry. And again, with Mars here, it's not necessarily like a fight, but you don't want to give attitude because it's Leo and it's Mars. So just be careful of how you speak. But you, like I said, you have the gift of gab, and Venus will be in your sign, so it'll be protecting you there as well. And you can be, when you want to be, you can be very, very diplomatic. Okay, so just watch out for those powerful people uh, trying to have a conversation with you. All right. Now, the same goes with Mars and Leo. It will retrograde. So again, whatever you agree on regarding higher education or foreigners or whatever, it will be reversed, or it will be renegotiated, or it might get canceled during the retrograde. I will do a dedicated Mars in Cancer and Leo video as well, only because Mars usually just spends a few weeks in a sign, but this time it is going back and forth with Cancer and Leo, and will not leave these two signs alone until well into late spring, or I think it's June. So there's something here that God, the universe, that says there has to be a change here, and they've sent Mars in to to get us to get us giddy upping, to get us going and clear this out, whatever this is. Okay. But like again, I'll do a dedicated video there. And then lastly, there is some kind of anxiety, maybe, or apprehension, um, because of, oh my God, these people. I love having the windows open, and especially because I have a cold, so I want to air out all these germs. So I'm sorry if that's the background noise is picking up. Um, so yeah, these surprising shifts that are happening, and they've been happening since 2018 to you. It is Taurus, so it is your sixth house of schedules, routine, habits, rituals, service to others, and pets also fall in here. And I think I mentioned health. Health is definitely a sixth house thing. So something about your work schedule has been shifting, abruptly stopping or starting. It's your house of busyness. So there'll be like times where you'll be so super busy that you need 10 extra hands. And then sometimes it'll just die down. And that's just, it's Uranus. Uranus, like I said, is the planet shock and surprise. It doesn't ask you, it just moves you. It shifts you left and right where it thinks you need to go. So there will be a couple more surprises before Uranus, after 7 years, will leave Taurus next year. So the beginning of the year, it will be the beginning of the end of these surprising shifts with your scheduling and your routine. Um, excuse me, but it was much better in Taurus than it was in Aries. Oh my God, 2000, what was it, 10? When it first entered, when Uranus first entered Aries. Oh my God, it was the New Zealand earthquake and the Fukushima, Japan, where it blew up. That's Uranus, and then you've got Aries, fire. But the Uranus in Taurus has been a little bit better because Taurus is very grounded and it's stable, and it keeps things not shifting that fast. But definitely with your work, what Sagittarians have been experiencing is that the the job has to work for them, not really the other way around. Otherwise, you will not be happy with a particular job. Like for example, this is just an example because there's many Sagittarians who are not like this. But for example, most Sagittarians will not take a job where you punch in and out. They need some kind of freedom and creative freedom. So that's why I'm saying with Pluto going into Aquarius, you're going to have this very unique opportunity in your third house of communication. So, if any Sagittarians have degrees or teaching degrees, you might be doing like, I don't know, a teaching thing abroad. or I know United Nations is working on something. Maybe you get hooked up that way. But just suffice it to say that you do need your freedom here, because Uranus is the planet of freedom. It values freedom above anything else and at all costs. In any case, like I said, we have a couple more shifting surprises here, and then that will be the end of it. All right, that ends your synopsis. So I'm going to just look at the oppositions for you with you. I'm not going to touch the sextiles and the other stuff that's self-explanatory on the planetary alignment I put up. So, like when November 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius, that's self-explanatory. I don't really need to go into a whole detail. Mercury is the planet of communication, and that's when you're going to start talking a lot, and it's about yourself or your profile. Okay, so the first we discussed the new moon, and here we go. The and this is during while I'm uploading this, November 3rd, Mars in Cancer will oppose Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a full on opposition. It's not a square where you can wiggle out of it and make compromises. This is either or. So Cancer is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, and like I mentioned, inheritance or taxes or what have you. And it is opposing Pluto in your second house of job and income. So there's a push and pull between a partner's finances that you benefit from and your job and income. Um, there was a previous opposition with these two back in June 5th of 2021 and May 20th of 2023. So you can look up your call logs, emails, text messages, and you might have a clue. Even though it's a passing thing, the other thing I forgot to mention is yes, Pluto does leave Capricorn, but um, Ceres, his mother in law, and the queen of negotiations and compromises, comes in right after. And these last couple of remnants is what she'll be compromising with all of us to get squared away for the final resolution. So the beginning, and it'll go in three stages. The beginning of December will be one agreement or compromise, and then by Christmas, it'll be discussed again, so that like is this is really what you want? Let's go forward. And then by the end of the year, it'll be a sign off. Okay, so whatever, and it's probably going to include this opposition. So between your money and your partner's money, the eighth house is money that you gain from others. Okay. And also Mars is at 29 degrees here, and it's going to move next day into Leo. And I already mentioned that in your synopsis. Leo is your ninth house. So let's go to the next big thing. Uh, on the ninth, Venus in your sign. So you're going to be more appealing to the other. You're going to be attracting money and the finer things and love. Um, but on the ninth, Venus in your sign will square Neptune in Pisces. Now, Pisces is your fourth house of home, family, parents. And Neptune has been in Pisces since 2012. So something regarding your home and your family has had no boundaries. And you might have felt all at sea, but it's a feel good. Um, you enjoy your space and your home, even if you're like not in a great place or not in a home. Maybe you're in an apartment, but still, it's an escape for you. And the last 2 years, Saturn came in and entered Pisces because it wanted to draw you back from the sea and onto shore before you drowned away. Uh, an idiom, before you were swept away. And it started helping you to build foundations and boundaries um, with whoever was like taking over. regarding your home and family. Okay. So on the ninth, something about your appearance, your profile, is squaring up to your family, or your home. So there's a question, an issue here, and but it's a square, and there's room for compromise. So look at the degrees and try to match them. If they match your natal chart and where those degrees are, you'll have a better clue of what's going on there. Okay. Uh, Oh yeah, the other thing is with this, to explain it, I'll give a better example is, if you are already partnered, or in a platonic or business or familial even situation, this square is like the realization of, oops, the lines were blurred again. So how do we fix them? That's an example. I will mention this: November 11th, Venus leaves your sign and enters Capricorn. And Venus might have been adventurous and coy in your sign, but when it enters Capricorn, it means business. And Venus is a heavy hitter too. Yeah, she's no one to be messed with. So, yes, it will beautify and attract goodwill and riches to your Capricorn house, which is your second house of job and income. So, you might be expecting some money to be coming in here around this date, and for as long as it's going to be in Capricorn. But this is mostly because we have Libra in the South Node, so it's, and we have Mars in Cancer, so it's all about relationships and and mostly family relationships. So here, with Venus in Capricorn, it wants commitment. Um, it doesn't want to like play games here. Okay, so if you meet someone during this transit, they will seem very maybe older, more distinguished. Okay. If you are partnered but not married, this is when you will be seeking a commitment, or to take it to the next level. If you don't get it, it will end here, because Venus means business. Um, or someone in this relationship will want to end it if there's no commitment. If you're already married, you are talking up probably about money. And again, it's a project, or regarding spending money or saving money, and it will need a commitment between the two of you. Or if you're getting married, like you're engaged, again, it's serious stuff here. You guys are discussing. If you're a Sagittarius, you're discussing money. All right. The next square we have on the 12th, Mercury in your sign. So something about the way you appear, your physical appearance, or how others see you, um, will not sit well with Saturn in Pisces. Remember earlier it squared Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune just blurs lines. So Saturn here is saying, okay, there's lines blurred here. Um, go back to what you learned with boundaries. So you may be the one that's putting up boundaries, and talking about, well, what happened? Let's fix it. Look to those degrees in your natal chart to see if you will be affected. Saturn will turn direct on November 15th, and you've had a reprieve. Saturn is in Pisces in your home and family. So for the past 4 months, you've had a reprieve from any restrictions. Or it could go opposite, because when planets retrograde, they go deep down and under. So it might have revealed something, but usually the energy is muted. So you may have had a reprieve, but now Saturn is awake, and he's like, "Well, how have you been doing? How has the boundaries been working out for you?" So he's going to be checking under the hood and kicking the tires, and going over the past 4 months and seeing where you might have slipped up. Okay. Now we have two other major oppositions. On the 16th, the sun in Scorpio. So the sun is shining a light on your hidden house, if not for others, but for you to see what's going on. because it's your 12th hidden house. Nobody really knows what you're doing back there. But the sun in your 12th house is opposing Uranus and Taurus. So, whatever you're working on in the background, it might be a project, it might be something else. It's ruining your schedule. Um, because, like I said, Taurus is your work schedule and your health, your habits. It's affecting your health. And if you have any pets, um, maybe you're neglecting your pets. So look for those degrees. All right. On November 18th, Mercury in Sagittarius will oppose, excuse me, Jupiter in Gemini. I'm sorry, I had to cough a little bit and take a sip of water. Okay, so on the 18th, yes, Mercury in your sign will oppose Jupiter in Gemini. Uh, that's unique. Jupiter is opposing, your ruling planet is opposing you. So Jupiter has been in your partnership house, um, and this is your contractual partnership house. So bosses, even platonic relationships can be in here, husband and wife type of deals. And the seventh house is also the house of open enemies. So it has been expanding for you ever since Jupiter went into Gemini, which was in May this year. Now it's going retrograde. It's slowed down a bit, but your partnership house has been expanding, and Jupiter is your ruling planet, so it protects you. Um, and it's a benefic planet. It's not really. It's a planet of good luck and hope. But if there is a problem with a partnership, Jupiter will expand that too, because its ultimate goal is to protect you. So if it feels like this partnership is not kosher, it will expand the negatives to have you thinking. So in any case, on the 18th, you are talking, conversing, texting um, with a partner, and they're opposing you. They're opposing your plans. They're opposing your discussion or your ideas. And this is kind of big because Jupiter is like the king of planets. So try to avoid arguments if you can, because Mercury will retrace these steps, and and it's already in shadow retrograde since the 7th. So you don't have all the information here, okay? And the trine I'm not really so worried about. That's another trine. And on the 19th, I went in great detail in the scope of Pluto entering Aquarius. So if you didn't get a clear picture, just rewind it and you can listen to it again. And on the 21st, the sun enters your sign. So uh, you'll know how other people see you when the sun enters your sign. It is about your profile and your appearance, and it's a yearly thing, so it's a normal, not out of the ordinary. I don't care about the sextiles. Okay, this one on the 22nd, there's the last quarter moon in Virgo, and Virgo is also a powerhouse, and Virgo rules your 10th house of career, reputation, and authority figures. It's not a full moon. It's a last quarter moon, so it's almost full. So Virgo here is saying if there's any uncertainty um, with a project that you had or you're working on regarding your career and status, um, and if there's no agreement, so this is like now you know where you stand and you all either move forward or you stop beating a dead horse. Virgo is meticulous. It wants to compartmentalize everything. It wants everything to be neat, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Okay, so look to those degrees to see what's going on. And on the 25th, Mercury will turn retrograde in your sign. Um, I don't care about that. Okay, and then the last thing is it ends on a great note on November 27th. The sun in your sign will trine Mars in Leo. This is a nice aspect. It's almost like winning an award or money or what have you. I'm always afraid to say the lottery because I don't want you guys to, oh, she said I'm going to win the lottery, so I'm going to go play. Don't do that. uh, but this here is some kind of recognition or award, and it's Leo. So try to be magnanimous with whatever award it is. Like share and the joy with everyone, like a Leo. Okay, Sagittarius, if you guys have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. And look out for my videos that will be coming out on Pluto and Aquarius and Mars and Leo and Cancer. Oh, and half of you who listen are not subscribed. Um, it's free. But seriously, if you found this informative or entertaining, hit the like button too. That helps a lot too. So good luck, Sagittarius. I will talk to you in the next video.